Howdy, lieutenants and economists.
The most volatile, evil, disgusting things on the planet, humans. If you have a video request, you can always go to assholeconsulting.com.
Yeah, I am gonna charge you, kids. And that is the importance of not fucking up.
You are such an asshole!
Hey everybody, old Captain here. We're on the road again, as you can see. Hey Cappy, this is basically another... we won't skip that. I'll try to make this as short and succinct as possible. I recently dropped out of college after my freshman year. I'm now pursuing an apprenticeship and becoming an electrician for a small company my buddy, who is also an electrician, told me about. I'm going to work alongside these guys and attend trade school in the fall. I've decided a while ago that I don't have any intent on getting married after playing the field and realizing the overall quality of girls that exist. I also do not want children either. I would still like to live with a quality girl once I find one. Overall, I just want to live a low-cost, minimalist lifestyle where I only have to pay for me and me only. I'm still living at home, but hope to find a small house or apartment for my own in the future. I learned about the trades while in college thanks to your videos and found that I was well off learning a skill and earning a decent wage rather than spending more time in university, which I hated. My relationship with my parents has deteriorated. I have come to the conclusion that they never loved me, but just wanted me to be an asset to them to brag about to other Middle Eastern families and possibly help fund the retirement. Ouch, dude, you probably nailed it right on the head. That is exactly what I was going to say. They have claimed that I have basically shamed them by not earning a degree and working instead. They were pissed once I told them that I wanted to pursue the trades, claiming those jobs were only for dumb people and were blue collar. Really? They think being an electrician. I'd like to see your dad wire up a house. I'd like to see your mom set up a router. I'd like to see her program in some ACL statements. I'd like to see these people do what they claim is dumb. I'd really like to see that. My mom always wanted to become a surgeon, but she's not? Oh, she didn't make it. Oh, interesting. And my dad wanted me to major in finance and go to Wall Street. Dude, you know, this is sad that I'm amazed that you came through this. Like, that is such, to old fart generations, that seems to be such wise advice. Like, oh, just become an investment banker. Oh, just become a surgeon. And they don't realize how untenable, is that the word I'm looking for? How not under your control that really is. I mean, you got to know people to get into that shit. And unless your parents knew people, you would have just wasted your years going to university for finance or economics or whatever else have you, and would have got in there. But yeah, you could totally see, you're dead right. They want to just brag about you. Forget your happiness and fuck you. We need our son to go this way so we can talk to the Ahmeds and the Baklabars over there and say, oh, well, our son works at Dane Rauscher, which no longer exists. Now they want me to get a degree just for the sake of getting it. No, see, that's like slavery. They want you to go be their fucking monkey boy and go dance so that they can brag about you getting a degree. My mom has tried to use guilt to drive me back to college by claiming she has had to take sleeping pills at night because of the misery I'm putting her through by not completing my degree. Shit, dude, this sucks, man. This is like... It's one thing when your friend or a girl you're dating pulls this drama bullshit, but when it's your parents, it's like you gotta... Like some gal you're on their third date with pulls dramatic antics like this, you say, fuck you, bitch, there's a taxi, and you're paying for it. This, when your parents do it, you gotta overcome all this biological programming you have because they fucking raised you. And that... But it's still, these are toxic people. These are still bad people for you. And I'm not saying they've tried to kill you or in some twisted, weird sense, they don't have your best interest at heart. But this is, these are not mature, adult, full-grown people when they're doing this bullshit. This is petty. She even recently offered to pay me $50 for every A I receive. Yeah, that's a huge incentive nowadays. I have a really curious question. They even help pay your way through college? Because that would be the ultimate hypocrisy if they're not even paying your way through college. You do live at home with them, so you are going to have to get out on your own because they could always pull that string. Well, if you're going to live under my house, you're going to do my rules. And sometimes that's really fair. Their rules are fair. Like, you gotta clean, you gotta earn your keep here, which I understand. But if it's like, you're gonna live your future life how we tell it, and you're gonna marry who we tell you to marry, fuck no, that's tyranny. That's fucking tyranny. As if I was in elementary school, even though I'm 19. They both have claimed that I will go nowhere in life without a college degree, blah, blah, blah. No, dude, becoming an electrician, you'll go way further. I mean, like, you're not going to go as far as, like, if you did become a surgeon, or if you did become a petroleum engineer, or an electrical engineer. But, and shit, even you becoming an electrician, fucking nerds who have degrees in electrical engineering, I know it's not the same. But I'm saying he's in the general field. With your degree, with your certification being an electrician, who says you can't go and become an electrical engineer down the road? You know, who says you're not going to invent some really cool ass shit? Like with girls, I stood my ground and said, no, good. I refuse to quit on this great opportunity I have luckily received thanks to my buddy and piss away more my youth making other people happy rather than myself. Thanks to your vids, I was able to learn about the opportunities existing in the trades as well as other life lessons that adults don't have. Not sound like a pussy, but you're basically a big brother, uncle, father, etc. for a young guy. Good. Well, very happy to have a young Lieutenant Ollie. Well, thank you, Ollie. Yeah, Ollie, unfortunately, is not the only one, and that's why we decided to put together this video. I charged him very little. For those of you, either you're here in the United States, or you are overseas, and you are children to Middle Eastern parents. You're from the Middle East or subcontinent India, and I've also seen this in general Asian cultures, where the family uses the children for, as Ali said, honor and bragging rights. You are a pawn. And Ali hit it dead on the nail right there. Unfortunately, it means your parents don't love you as much as maybe you thought. I don't know how, and I say that cautiously because I really don't believe they love you, period. And I'm not trying to, like, drive you in between, a wedge between you and your parents. But if your parents only view you as something to brag about to other family members, well, then they value their ego and their pride more than they do you. Let's put it that much is true. They certainly may still do love you, but they value and love their pride and their ego more than they do you. And that's sick. That's fucking wrong. That's not how parenting should be. And then fuck this bull. Well, you're from America. It's different. No, fuck different cultures right now. This has nothing to do with cultures. This has to do with whether you love your fucking child or not. And if you view your child as merely a trophy to show around and not take a vested interest in, all right, son, what do you want to do? Oh, you want to become a fisherman? All right, well, but you want to, okay, cool. I mean, they should step in and say, well, I want to major in women's studies and English and philosophy. And then they ought to come in there and kick your ass. But if you want to go and become something as noble as an electrician, you should be able to do it. And your parents should say, hey, that's cool, you go do that. As long as you don't fucking live at home, we got to pay for shit. That should be the primary thing. And they should love you for you. They should love you for, hey, He's an electrician. Yeah, he wired these houses. He's very happy. He has the 2 little kids and blah, blah, blah. It's very wonderful. But if it's this fucking race, if this is like keeping up with the Joneses, which I guess is the American culture equivalent, where my neighbor buys a Mercedes, well, then I got to buy a Bentley. And if I buy a Bentley, the other guy's got to buy a Ferrari. You don't give a shit about the actual car. You don't give a shit about your actual self. You don't give a shit about your actual finances. You just give a shit about bragging rights. And that's one thing if you do it with inanimate objects, but if you do it with fucking children, that's sick and wrong. So what's the solution? Well, unfortunately, the solution is doing what Ollie did, and I think a lot of students, a lot of kids got to do this, and that is you got to stand up to your parents and tell them no. You got to be willing to walk. Because you got to be willing to take away you from the equation in their life and their environment to see whether or not they realize what they potentially will risk losing. Because I think a lot of them I think are unconscious about it. They think they have you in your pocket, like they could take you for granted. It's not until you're gone do they realize, oh shit, I may have just lost my son or my daughter. And sometimes you got to do that because you have to have enough self-respect for yourself. I'm not going to tolerate what is nothing more than an abusive or unfair relationship. You're just not. It doesn't matter if your parents are your parents. So a lot of times you just got to go off to college. You got to go live on your own. And then in the end, for whatever strength and biological programming is hardwiring you to, be their kid, it's just as much that they got to be your parents. Like, their kid leaves. Oh, you want to talk about a mind fuck? You want to talk about playing hardball? You remove yourself. You don't show up for, well, in Ali's case, maybe Ramadan or whatever, their birthday, whatever. You don't show up for Christmas if you're more Western, or you don't show up for Chinese New Year if you're Asian. Oh my goodness. And then they're like wondering, oh shit. And then it's amazing how quickly they come around. It's amazing how much more, and they treat you with respect, especially if you don't need them, especially if you're not asking for money and support and living with them. So anyway, I apologize for all of you out there who have to deal with that, where you're kind of used more as a trophy or a soccer ball. And look at what Ali did, not look at Ali. But yeah, that's just that's unfortunately the ropes, I guess, nowadays. So anyway, don't abandon the family, but certainly hold your line. Do what you want to do. And they should come around. If they get all, if now some of them will go the other direction, and you know what? That's just the way it was going to be. If they get all pissed off and you mean nothing to me, you aren't my son, well then, because you don't. You see this more common, like you leave the religion, you leave. You marry God Almighty. This happens, especially in the black community. A lot of the young black men. If you marry someone outside of your race or religion, oh my God, Jesus, why you left team? You left team Muslim. You left team black. You left team white. And it's like, but I love her. Fuck your love and happiness. So I'm sorry, guys. It's kind of that's what you're gonna have to do. But anyway, hold firm, hold strong, hold your don't treat them poorly, but do have the basics of self-respect, and you go live your life how you want. Best of luck to all of you. Toodles.